If you're clicking this video because of the title or the thumbnail, you're in the right place. And not to worry, I'll leave the source in the description below. When it comes to live service games or gacha games or on mobile and PC, there's always that one scummy yet sneaky person who had connections from other parties when it comes to leaks. We often see leaks from different games on Reddit, specifically r/gacha gaming, and other live service games from other studios on the western side. And if you're asking what studio I'm referring to the one behind Helldivers 2, and I'm definitely gonna try it out once I got my upgrade done on my computer. Now, currently, I'm focusing on gacha games specifically, because this is where majority of the community had a lot of fiasco and shit whenever there is a leak circulating around the internet. Great example is when Genshin Impact made another drip marketing of an upcoming character, Emily, who's a dendro perfumer on Fontaine. The reactions from these fans were a bit disappointed, cause it wasn't the same from the early leaks and concept design of this character before. There is also leaks about her overall gameplay. Some are gonna pull her for added benefit, some are gonna pull her due to saucy arts, or some are gonna skip because it's not that worth it until someone makes a guide about it to prove that she is doable, or just go all out skip mode on this one. Honestly, I try to avoid leaks as many times as possible, but curiosity killed the cat, so I got hooked and I fell into it. Now, you may be asking, how do you think that constant Cyclops leaks and official reveals in gacha games affects the community perception? Now, leaks had positive and negative consequences for the developers and also to the community. You could say that leaks can be a double-edged sword. And if you guys want the long version and the short version, don't worry, I got you covered. Leaks can generate excitement and anticipation among players in the community, but they can also lead to disappointment and backlash if the final product doesn't meet the community's expectations. So every time when there's a teaser or had something to do with the upcoming character in a new update, I guess in the future, they always left the message on bottom right corner of the screen, quote unquote, "This may subject to change and not indicative as a final product." Now, developers usually have to handle the amount of leaked content carefully, thus balancing the need to maintain player interest and excitement with the desire to keep certain content confidential until its intended release. And the most common leaked contents that happen in gacha games are the following. As I mentioned earlier ago, upcoming characters or a new skin. So these kind of content often get leaked, ruining the element of surprise to the player base. Game mechanics. New or adjusted game mechanics that got leaked will have an impact on how the players in the community prepared and strategize. Events and updates. Details about upcoming events, expansions, or updates can surface early, affecting players' plans and expectations. And last but not least, the most common leaked content is the story content. Plot points and storylines can be leaked, which can somewhat lead to damaging the pacing for narrative-driven games. So we could say that of all these leaked contents are already spreading in the internet, there will be a heated debate between two oppositions and would have positive and negative impact to the player base and the community, as I mentioned earlier. So to start off, let's go with the pros first. First one is generating hype. Leaks can create buzz and anticipation among the player base, potentially attracting more and more players. There are some cases that game studios, like for example Hologram under game Genshin Impact, had to drop on another marketing drip before the patch release of the game. Great example is the drip marketing of Arlecchino before they dropped the new version 4.5 on Genshin Impact. So because of it, yeah, they had to make some changes to their overall plans. To either they had to farm for the new character upcoming on the new version, or they had to stick to the current ones. Second is community engagement. Leaks often lead to discussions and speculations in the community, increasing engagement on forums and social media and such. Thirdly, feedback opportunity. Developers can gauge players' reactions to leaked content and make adjustments before the release. That is why every time when a teaser comes out, there's always going to be the one who can do the beta test and then leave out a survey to see if this beta update of this game is ready to be played for the next update. And now let's move on to the cons, which is the negative ones. First one is spoiling surprises. Leaks can sometimes ruin planned surprises and announcements, diminishing the impact of official reveals. Secondly is misinformation. Leaked information can sometimes be inaccurate or incomplete, leading to misunderstandings and false expectations. Just like what happened on Twitter whenever someone made a forum about the studio and the game's potential, like Kuro Games and Wuthering Waves, and also some user that are well known to farm engagement by doing this, and you know who I'm referring to. And I'm not gonna name drop it, okay? You guys already know that. Disruption on developers' progress. Leaks can disrupt development schedules and marketing plans, causing a bit of stress and a bit of frustration, thus disrupting their development progress of their games. But it can be used as an advantage to other game studios. Recently, there is a leak about the upcoming version 4.8 of Genshin that has one quality of life updates that World Boss will respawn automatically when you teleport to somewhere else, which it took 4 years to implement. Ladies and gentlemen, 4 years, and they're now starting to work out. But this is where I have to clarify something, because what if I told you that this feature was already there since version 1.1? And no, I'm not talking about logging out and logging in the game. I'm referring to a subject I mentioned earlier. Or maybe I am delusional, but who cares? I mean, give it a try and see if it works. If it does work, thank me later. But if not, well, I'll kill myself. In-game. Next is balance issues. Premature exposure to untested features or characters can lead to imbalances in the game if players exploit them before official adjustments are made. However, there are some cases that even if a new character has been introduced and become playable, despite on what they said that it could potentially power creep the older ones, there is a possibility that it will not happen. In Genshin Impact's case, I can't tell how many characters were there in total as of now, but there are cases that even if the new character was added in the roster, it is still doable to play and use the old ones, even up to this current update, including the national team comp which we're all familiar with. Changli, Chongyun, Jincho, and that last remaining spot could be Raiden or anything else. That's it. In Wuthering Waves' case, there is potential that there will be power creep happening in the game, given the fact that there are now leaks circulating in the internet of Jinhsi and Changli's gameplay, animations, and kits. But I don't think that's the main focus here because remember, the core gameplay is the combat system. So if you're not good on dodging and parrying, even if you have the strongest character in-game, then you have a skill issue. Unless you do hologram challenges, but it all comes down to how you play the game. That's what matters. And I could say the same thing to Genshin Impact as well. Yeah. In conclusion, leaks, again, can generate excitement, attract new players, foster community engagement, provide developers with valuable feedback and anticipation among the community. However, they can also ruin surprises, spread misinformation, disrupting the developer's progress, creates balance issues, and they can also lead to disappointment and backlash if the final product doesn't exceed expectations. When managed effectively, the aspects of leaks can enhance a game's success, but it's also crucial for developers and publishers to handle leaks carefully to mitigate any potential downsides. And also had to double down to that person who had all of the info about the leaks and such, so yeah. But what do you guys think about leaks in overall terms? Is it good or bad for the player base and the developers? If there's anything that you want to add or to correct about every statement I made, let me know in the comment section below, and I'd love to have a discussion with you. Anyways, that will be the end of the discussion, and also that will be the end of today's video. Thank you all so much guys for watching. If this video piques your interest, feel free to hit the subscribe button and also hit the bell icon so you won't miss any future uploads and live streams in my channel. That is all. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.